Hello everyone. ProTrainee has brought to you an evolving industry-ready environment. Welcome to your online guidance series. Today, we are going to take you for a learning ride on Autodesk Revit. Revit is an architectural, design and documentation software program used by architects and engineers for managing building and detailing the model. So, let's begin.
I am Parth Goyal, your host for this session, and we would be taking a class of how to build and construct a project in Revit architecture. So let's start. First of all, I would like to tell you that what is BIM. So basically, BIM stands for Building Information Modeling, and this is a process through which we can visualize a construction project with respect to its physical and functional characteristics. For example, if we see a construction drawing which is in 2D, that is a two-dimensional drawing. If we increase the dimension, that is 3D, then we have to do it through our AutoCAD 3D or Revit or any other 3D modeling software. So that is, we have increased the level of detail in that. Then if we increase another level of detail, which is the schedule of that construction, then that will be called a 4D drawing. So while increasing the level of details, we are involving building information modeling process. Now Revit is a software which can be used to ensure or introduced building information modeling in a construction project. What basically Revit software does is the 3D modeling of any type of construction project. So it is mainly used by architects, structural engineers, and other designers and contractors. It is an Autodesk software and it has a free student version available on the website, which I would be telling how to get and download at the later part of this session. Okay, so let's start right away without wasting any time. This is the contents which we will be taking care during the two sessions of today and tomorrow. And this is how a 2D drawing looks in an AutoCAD, and this will be what we will like. We can convert that drawing into a 3D structure elevation through Revit. Okay, so let's start our session directly in Revit itself. Okay, so when you will start Revit, this will be the main screen, and here we can see there are a lot of options like open, new, construction template, and other types of templates. So basically Revit has 4 types of templates. First is construction, then architectural, structural, and mechanical. We would be dealing with architectural template because it is a very huge software. It has all type of construction things available in construction template, then electrical, mechanical, plumbing fittings. So it is a very huge software. So we will be dealing with architectural Revit which is mainly used for constructing 3D elevations. Okay, so to start, first we have to start a new project. Now it will ask which type of template file you want to open. So we will select the architectural template and we will create a new project. Select OK. This will try to open and create a new project file, and then we will be able to start with our project right away. So this is our home screen where we will be doing the majority of work In the left, we can see a properties panel. This shows all the properties of any type of element which we click or select. On the right, we have the project browser, which will show at which level or at which type of floor or whatever thing which we are working on which workplace we are working, we can. And then we have our different type of panels on the top of the software screen, which can allow us to introduce different type of structures or elements into our project. Okay, so first of all, we will try to implement some basic things which we have to do before starting a project. So I have applied some software so that you will be able to see the keys I press on my keyboard on the bottom left of the screen. Okay, so first of all, we have to select all the units on which we will be working on. For that, the short key is UN. After pressing UN, you will see this type of a command prompt box. Now we have to select the unit on which you will be working on. So we will be working on feet and fractional inches to the nearest round of 1 inch. Then select OK. Then you select the unit of the area. Since the length is in feet, so area will be in square feet up to 2 decimal places. And similarly, volume will be in cubic feet. And angle we will be using in degree, slope degree. The rest everything will be the same. Mass density is not something which we will be working on right now. And then select OK. Now our units are in place. So the construction or any type of element which will be creating in feet and fractional inches. Now the second thing which we have to do as a prerequisite before starting a construction project will be the elevation. So we will open any one in the right side of the project browser thing. We will open any one elevation and we will be selecting the levels on which we will be working. First of all, we will name this as ground level, that is GL. Select yes, we change all the corresponding levels. Now to create more levels, you will see on the right side of the panel, you will see a option called level. When you will click it, there will be a lot of options here. Now there will be a green pick lines option. You have to pick the line and select. You can now create a level at the offset from any line which you want. So suppose our plinth level will be at what 2 feet. So we have to select 2 feet, press enter, and now if you will hover over to any one line, it will be creating a 2 feet offset from that line. So from the ground level, we will do this. So that this will be our plinth level. Then suppose again I have to make a ground floor level that will be at 2 inches or maybe 4 inches. So I have to make that from the plinth level. Okay, this is where my floor will be there. Floor, that is ground. Then we will be selecting, we will extend it so that it will be clearly visible to us.
This is how there are a lot of things we have to make sure that everything is clearly visible to us, so that when we will be analyzing the project finally, it will give us a better output. Okay, so this is the ground floor, this is the plinth level. From this, at 12 feet will be our top floor, first floor, that is, because we are keeping the floor height of 10 feet. At the plinth level is at 2, so 12 feet will be our floor height. And then again we will add another floor level at 4 inches of offset, 4 inches of offset from this. So this will be our floor level for second floor. Yes. This will be our first floor. Okay, and then we will create the roof. Again we have to select level, pick lines, and offset of 10 feet from okay, since the line is very close, we'll do one thing, we'll make it 9 feet 10 inches, which will be same from the floor level of first floor. Okay, so this is how we have created all the levels on which we are going to work. Let's call it roof. And then again we will create the roof floor at 4 inches. We'll name it similarly roof. Okay, so now since we have created all the levels on which we will be working in this project, let's start. So first of all we will go to the ground level. Okay, on the ground level we have to create a, first of all we should make a plan that what we are going to work on. Okay, so first we have to create the plinth of the structure. So for that we will go to either component, or let's talk about lines first, so that you won't be getting some things, because a lot of you might have seen these type of options, a line or a rectangle or different type of shapes here. This is what we will be using majorly. Okay, so first option will go in the model line on the architecture tab. Then we have these type of commands. Then through line command we can make a line. Okay, through rectangle we can rectangle, There are different type of shapes we can make, like this hexagon, and this is another type of hexagon which will be circumscribed, then a circle. We have this option, arc option. This will be very useful when you have to create something which has a shape of an arc or a curve. We have this another 2-point arc option, in which we have to select 2 points and then we can create an arc as a radius of those 2 points. Then this type of arc is most used. This creates the arc between 2 points, and this is another type of arc which we might be using. It creates a curved boundary of that point, okay, with another point. So this is how it joins one line to another through a curved surface. Then we have this spline. So what spline does is, through spline you can create a curve structure wherever you click on the screen. First, suppose the first point is here, which I have clicked. Now technically, if I will click here, selecting that point as a base, from on the third point wherever I'll click, it will create a curve from the first point to the third point, like this. Then if I'll click here, and the 4 point will be here, so it will continuously create an arc or a curved structure on my each click point. So this is a very useful thing which we might be using while creating curtains and water bodies and different things. It is used in creating different type of things which have a curved continuous boundary. Okay. Then we have this option of ellipse. Okay, everybody knows what ellipse is. So this is how we can do it, by selecting x coordinate and y coordinate, and then ellipse curves which has a x and y coordinate, and then last is pick line. Pick line does what is, it picks an already created or drawn line, so we don't have to recreate it. This I will be showing while we will be making our elements. Let's first of all clear the screen so that we have something to work on. Okay, there is one more thing I want to discuss. When you will be creating a square boundary by holding the left mouse button from left to right, until and unless you will cover the whole element, you won't be able to select it. So if I am dragging and creating a box from left to right, and I'm not covering the whole element, it will not get selected. But similarly, if I will do that from right to left with a dotted line, if even a part of that element is under that my dotted boundary, it will get selected. So it makes it very handy at times. Okay.
If you like the video, press the like button and share it with your friends. And for more such informative content, please press the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.